All right, let's dive in. We're not looking at charts or articles today. Nope, we're cracking open a book and stepping right into a world that's long gone. We're about to take a journey, a real epic one, right into the heart of 10th century India. And our guide, the very first chapter of an incredible historical masterpiece. So, the book itself, it literally invites us on this journey. And honestly, who are we to say no? We're hopping into that boat of imagination, getting ready to sail back down the river of time. But you gotta wonder, right? Just how far back are we actually going? Get this, we are jumping back 982 years. Yep, you heard that right. Almost 1,000 years into the past. We're landing smack dab in the middle of 10th century southern India, right in the powerful Chola kingdom. Okay, so our journey starts at this place, a landmark so huge it's basically a character in the story all by itself. We're talking about the great Veeranam Lake. And believe me, just calling it a lake really doesn't do it justice. So, to get our bearings, think about where this is today. We're in what's now the South Arcot district of Tamil Nadu. And this lake, well, it wasn't just a lake. It was this massive, watery border between two ancient kingdoms. It was a statement, a testament to just how powerful and ambitious the Cholas really were. And the sheer scale of this thing is, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. The old texts say it was 10 kadims long and 5 kadims wide. Now, a kadim wasn't like a mile or a kilometer. It was an old Tamil unit for a huge distance. So let me put it this way. This wasn't just a lake. This was a man-made inland sea. You know, the original text is kind of savage about it. It doesn't hold back at all when comparing this incredible feat of engineering, the lakes built by their rival, the Pallava kings. The book just dismisses them as mere puddles compared to this Chola marvel. I mean, that tells you everything, doesn't it? It just perfectly highlights the Chola dynasty's vision and their skill. And the story kicks off during the Adi festival season. This is when the rivers were just raging at their absolute peak. The lake itself is described as a seething sea, totally full, overflowing, with these little waves just dancing across the surface. You can practically feel the energy coming off that water, can't you? But here's the thing, and this is so important. This lake wasn't just for looks. It wasn't just a pretty view. This massive body of water fed 74 canals. 74! Can you imagine? This lake was the absolute lifeblood of the whole region. It watered a huge area of farmland and basically guaranteed the Chola kingdom's prosperity. Okay, so this isn't just a geography lesson about a lake. We've got this grand, epic, thriving landscape, and now our focus is going to zoom right in. We're going to focus on one single person, a lone warrior riding his horse along the banks. So who is this guy? His name is Vallavarayan Vandiyathevan. He's a young warrior from the famous Vanar clan. And he's riding this horse that's clearly exhausted, but he's not in a rush at all. And you might ask why? Well, it's because he is just completely captivated by the view in front of him. And this little detail tells us so much. He's not just some guy passing through. He's really taking it all in. He's connected to this place. He's actually listening to the songs of the farmers, the people working the land, the very people whose lives are made better by the same lake that he's looking at. So as he's riding along, his mind starts to wander. He's not just thinking about the beauty he's seeing right now. No, his thoughts are drifting back in time to the visionary, the genius, who made all of this possible in the first place. He's thinking about a man named Prince Rajadithar. Now, this was the son of the great king Paranthakar Chola, and Rajadithar was the one with the vision. He's the one who looked at the mighty Kolidam River and figured out how to tame it, how to divert its water to create this incredible lake, instead of just letting it all wash out uselessly into the sea. And this prince, wow, he was way more than just a brilliant engineer. He was a legendary warrior, too. Vandiyathevan is remembering that this is the same guy who led the Chola army from the back of an elephant in the famous Battle of Thakolam. And even when he died in that battle, he earned this amazing immortal title, the Lord who slept on the elephant. I mean, talk about a hero. And so this question just echoes in Vandiyathevan's mind. It's rhetorical, of course. Because for him and for pretty much all the Chola people, the answer is obvious. Nobody. Nobody could compare. And that really captures the deep respect he has for the legends of this dynasty. You know, this admiration he feels, it isn't just for one guy, for one prince. Through his eyes, we start to get a picture of what the entire Choja clan was all about, their whole philosophy. He sees them as a people who managed to perfectly balance three core values. They had incredible valor, but it was matched by their strong sense of justice. And that sense of justice was matched by their deep devotion. For him, it was this perfect mix, this harmony of ideals that made them truly great. So, lost in all these thoughts about past glory, Vandiyathevan just keeps riding along at his slow pace. He travels for about 1.5 qadams, and he's actually counting the canals as he goes. Eventually, he gets to the southern end of the lake, right at the spot where the Vallavarayan River flows into it. And this story leaves us with this incredible, powerful image. You've got the fresh floodwaters rushing in, you've got the trees that were planted along the banks to make them strong, and then you have the just immense size of the lake itself. It all comes together, and it's described as looking just like a beautiful, living.
All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to break down a really pivotal moment where a massive, joyful festival crashes head-on into a top-secret mission. Just imagine you're a messenger, right? You're carrying a secret that could literally change the fate of an empire, and your journey starts in the middle of a huge party. This is where our story kicks off, and it's where our hero faces his very first test.
So, let's set the scene. It's the 18th day of the month of Adi, and the Adiperukku festival is in full swing. The banks of the Kaveri River are just packed with people. I mean, everyone from the surrounding villages is there, all gathered for a day of pure, unfiltered celebration.
You can almost smell the air just from reading that, can't you? This description just pulls you right in. The whole atmosphere is just thick with the scent of all these flowers. You've got the sound of happy families and this deep sense of peace. It's a perfect day.
And every little detail just adds to this incredible vibe. You've got people dressed up in their best new clothes, families are sharing these amazing mixed rice dishes, coconut, lime, tamarind. You can hear kids laughing and splashing by the river, and these beautiful songs are just floating on the breeze. And taking it all in, kind of on the edge of the crowd, is our guy, Vandiyathevan, watching everything from his horse.
Now, about those songs Vandiyathevan is hearing, they're not just catchy tunes. No way. They're basically living, breathing history lessons. They're these epic poems set to music all about the power, the bravery, and the incredible glory of the Chola dynasty that rules the land.
And these songs are celebrating a truly legendary family line. They sing about Vijayalaya, the guy who started it all, who had 96 battle scars that he wore like they were jewels. They praise his son, Aditar, who was this great temple builder, and then his grandson, Paranthakar, an incredible conqueror who expanded the empire. This is the source of all their pride.
But right as Vandiyathevan is just soaking all this in, the history, the culture, the whole scene, the mood just completely shifts. This perfect day is about to get a very rude awakening.
Suddenly, a new sight appears on the river that gets everyone's attention. It's this fleet of huge boats, their white sails catching the wind. They almost look graceful, kind of like a flock of swans. But trust me, this peaceful image is really deceiving.
Because as the first boat gets closer, warriors armed with spears jump onto the shore and start pushing everyone back. They're shouting, "Get away! Move it!" The crowd, which was so happy just moments ago, is now scrambling to grab their stuff and run. And the question on everyone's mind, especially Vandiyathevan's, is who on earth has this kind of authority? And the answer is flying right there, high above the main boat. Vandiyathevan sees it, a flag with a palmyra tree on it. And that symbol, it's unmistakable. That is the personal flag of the Pazhuvettarayar clan, one of the most powerful families in the entire Chola Empire.
So to really get why this is such a big deal, we need to understand who this guy is. Just hearing the name Pazhuvettarayar startles Vandiyathevan, and for very good reason. His arrival isn't just an entrance, it's an event, and his presence demands both total respect and, a little bit of fear. See, their power isn't a new thing. It goes way, way back. The Pazhuvettarayar clan has been famous for their skills on the battlefield since the dynasty was founded. They're connected to the royal family through marriage, and they're so powerful they even have the right to fly their very own flag, a privilege only a tiny handful of people have. And the current head of the family, the man on that boat, is Pazhuvettarayar. He is a living legend. And get this, he has personally fought in 24 major battles. He is basically an unmatched warrior in the entire kingdom.
But his power isn't just on the battlefield, not even close.
He controls the empire's money and its entire food supply. He can even force other powerful nobles to pay taxes to him. So after the emperor, Sundarachozar himself, Pazhuvettarayar is the most powerful man in the kingdom. Period.
And this brings us right back to our guy on the horse, Vandiyathevan. The arrival of this incredibly powerful man creates a huge immediate problem for him, because he's carrying a secret that could turn the entire empire on its head.
These were the words the Crown Prince Adiperukku spoke to Vandiyathevan in total secret. So this mission is already wrapped up in suspicion and politics. The prince thinks something shady is going on with the officials in the capital city, Thanjavur, which is exactly where Pazhuvettarayar runs things.
And the prince's orders were crystal clear. 1. Deliver a scroll to the emperor. 2. Deliver another to his sister. 3. Tell absolutely no one what you're doing. 4. Don't start any trouble. And 5, the big one, be especially careful of Pazhuvettarayar, the very man who just showed up in front of him.
So you can just imagine the battle going on inside Vandiyathevan's head, right? On one hand, the young, ambitious warrior inside him is dying to get a closer look at this living legend he's heard stories about his whole life. But on the other hand, the loyal messenger knows his sworn duty is to stay as far away from this man as possible.
In the end, duty wins out. He remembers the serious look on the prince's face and the importance of his words, and he just shuts down his curiosity. He turns his tired horse, digs in his heels, and pushes onward, choosing to stick to his secret mission instead of risking it all for a glance at the one man he was warned to avoid.
And that's what we're left with. It's a huge question, isn't it? Vandiyathevan just passed his first real test, putting his duty before his own desires. But now, this massive, powerful figure is standing directly between him and his goal. How can one lone messenger on a mission this secret possibly succeed when the court is run by the very person he's supposed to stay away from?